I must make it clear, the reason why we decided to take suo motu cognizance, we are conscious of the fact that the High Court was entertaining a petition which was filed by the petitioners who are here before us, is because this is really now not just a matter relating to a particular murder which takes place in a hospital in Kolkata, which is horrific in the nature of the crime, but it raises systemic issues in regard to the safety of doctors.
Well, two more incidents, one in Bombay and one in Ahmedabad after Calcutta.
Let the Chief Justice, please.
Deals with the systemic issue of safety of doctors across India.
Yes.
There are a couple of things, Ms. Sybil, before we deal with the broader aspects of safety and what we propose to do, we'll tell you in a
I have something to assist on that, Manoj, neutrally.
briefly on both aspects. First, on matters of safety, we are deeply concerned about the fact that there is a virtual absence of safe conditions of work for young doctors across the country, particularly in public hospitals. As we know, these are all young interns, they are residents, senior residents, doctors, and most importantly, women doctors.
Yes.
Who are subject to of graver dangers and vulnerable.
They are vulnerable.
By virtue of the nature of their
Absolutely.
because of gender.
Working hours.
Just and working hours. Most of the young doctors have to put in somewhere
36 hours, Manoj.
we find that there are no duty rooms available, no separate restrooms or duty rooms available for men and women doctors, for the other nursing staff, for the paramedical staff who are also on duty. And therefore, we must evolve a national consensus to ensure that there must be a standard national protocol to ensure that safe conditions of work are provided. This is not a matter of providing protection either to women or protection to doctors in general. It's a matter of creating safe conditions of work so that they ultimately, what is equality under the Constitution all about? If women cannot go to a place of work and be safe, then we are denying them the basic conditions of equality. And therefore, we are entertaining this, and I'll very shortly share the way we want to proceed with this to ensure that ultimately, it's not that every time that there is a rape or murder that the conscience of the nation is awakened. We have to do something right here and now to ensure that these conditions of safety are maintained in terms of protocols which will not just be on paper, but protocols which will be enforced across India. Now, insofar as what happened in Kolkata is concerned, a couple of things from what we have. Of course, first, let me begin by saying that we are deeply concerned of the fact that the name of the deceased who was assaulted and murdered, the name has been published all over the media. Photographs have been published all over the media. Video clips, obviously, either before or after the postmortem, have been published, showing her body, after she was subjected to it. It's extremely concerning. We are the first to recognize the right to free speech, but there are well-settled parameters.
It is extremely painful. I agree entirely with you.
Which have been laid down in now the new criminal procedure code by judgments of our court in Nipun Saxena, that you will not publish the names of the survivors of sexual assault. In this case, the person
It's a criminal offense.
We have filed 50 FIRs on that count. 50 FIRs.
And it was circulated, nobody should publish.
May I just inform your lordships, before the police reached, photos were taken and these were circulated. We didn't allow anything to happen. We cordoned off the area.
This is the way we provide dignity and respect the privacy of an individual who has lost her life as a young doctor.
Yes.
But apart from that, Mrs. Sybil, I'm happy that you are here for the state of West Bengal. Couple of quite a few aspects of the way the matter proceeded. It appears that the crime was detected in the early hours of the morning.
Yes.
After the crime was detected in the early hours of the morning, the principal of the hospital tries to pass this off as a suicide.
Not true.
Her parents are not allowed to see the body The parents are not allowed to see
Yeah.
the body
Four
for
hours.
almost.
No, Malaz, this is, I'm sorry. Anyway, Malaz, this is
Lord,
the
that
impression.
our
We'll have to-
investigation
We'll have
also
to,
corrupt.
we'll have to place the facts before your lordships. We have
It's been
investigated that.
by the High
This is not correct.
But, so, until late night, we find that no FIR was registered.
That's also not correct. Not correct.
What time was the FIR registered?
Malaz, in fact, we did what is called, what we call a UD case, Malaz.
UG case.
Unnatural death case registered,
Yes, unnatural death case.
registered
But
immediately.
that's right.
That's an FIR, Malaz. That's an FIR.
Not the body is discovered.
UD case.
The FIR registered formally in the police.
Malaz, inquest was done and then FIR registered immediately and the
What
investigation
time,
started.
what time
It should have been done.
the FIR registered?
12, Malaz,
12.
12:30.
Does the FIR say that this is a case of a murder?
No,
Yes, yes.
no,
No, my lord, we.
Unnatural
we have
death.
to say.
It was.
We have something.
Unnatural death.
One second,
Inquest shows it's a case of murder,
one
Malaz.
second.
Inquest shows it's a case of murder.
Inquest is done. The postmortem is, the autopsy is conducted.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, until the night, no FIR indicating that this is a clear case of a murder has been made out.
It has, Malaz. I'm sorry. I'll place those facts before your lordship. It has been, Malaz.
Lord, may I suggest?
From
my lord, may I
unnatural death,
suggest-
he registered the case
Lord,
for murder.
okay.
That
We caught the victim. He is a civic worker, Malaz. It's an individual act. I show all that to your lordship.
And that's the first aspect.
Yeah.
What was the principal doing? Why did he not, why was this kind of inaction on the part, first, an attempt to pass this off as a suicide instead of a murder?
I'm sorry, Malaz. That's not correct.
Not recording, not registering an FIR till late in the evening. Third, the body itself is handed over to the parents sometime in the evening for cremation. Fourth, and that's a matter of very serious concern. On the next day, the doctors, because they were all doctors working with her, the doctors are on protest. A group of persons, a mob assembles at the hospital. The hospital is invaded and the critical facilities are damaged in the morning or whenever the mob enters. What was the police doing?
Yes.
Not
Malaz, we have videos for all. Malaz, let me first of all state.
Actually, Mr. Sibal,
What-
the police,
Lord,
Malaz,
may
a very serious offense has taken place. The crime scene is within the precincts of the hospital. Now, that is the first thing that the police have to do, namely to protect the crime scene. What are they doing?
Malaz,
Nothing.
They
Yes.
allow vandals to enter the hospital.
Yes.
And,
It's
and vandals-
impossible
That's,
that
uh,
7,000 people
first
can
of all,
gather
first
without
of
the
all-
consent.
Please, one second.
allow me.
Lord,
This is-
7,000 people
One
can
second,
never
Lord.
gather without knowledge or consent of the.
This is not an adversarial litigation.
It's not, therefore, let us not be in denial mode. One girl has lost life by not only, my lord, a sexual pervert, he's an animal.
After the principal resigns from this medical college,
He sent to another
he's,
hospital.
he's appointed as a principal of another college.
Immediately.
He doesn't resign. But anyway, be that, Malaz,
The
let me
least
first,
his conduct, at the least, his conduct is under scrutiny. And he's appointed as a principal somewhere else.
Lord,
this is all, we have a note
Lord,
on
yeah.
all this
Lord,
misinformation.
it's not but each other, there is a high court order.
What is the reality? Just show it to you.
Let them file the report, not.
But
High Court.
just show it to
Matter
you.
tomorrow.
My lord.
Couple of things which we would like
Would be
to do.
there.
Well, let's make it very clear.
Yeah.
We would want the investigation has been handed over to the
CBI.
Bureau of Investigation.
Yes, done, yes,
We want CBI to file a status report before this court on Thursday.
correct.
We will take up the case on Thursday. We want CBI to apprise us on the status of the investigation.
Correct.
The investigation obviously must be at a very sensitive stage so that it's something which will be submitted to the court.
So for
For
court's
the principal,
consumption, not,
it's
my
something
lord,
that is the case
making it
diary.
public.
It's really an investigation update
Yes,
status
yes.
report which will be given to us on Thursday. We will consider the status report on Thursday morning and see
Fair
where
enough.
the investigation is proceeding. Today, what we intend to do is that today we intend to pass an order. What we have done is, and few of us, that's why we were in conversation with each other. We have discussed the pros and cons. We are setting up under the authority of this court a national task force. The national task force will consist of a diverse segment of doctors from different parts of the country. We want them to make us recommendations in regard to the modalities to be followed across India. We're not only talking of the Ajikar Medical College and Hospital, but modalities to be followed all over the country for ensuring safety at the workplace first and foremost, for which our young doctors, the middle level doctors, the senior doctors are all today on protest and on strike. At the same time, we would, now that we are taking charge of these proceedings, we are appointing a national task force. It's our earnest request to doctors all over the country who have struck work. There are institutions where I know appointments are taken 2 years in advance. For instance, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Appointments are taken 2 years in advance. If patients lose their slot, they go back by another 2 years. So we would really earnestly appeal to all the doctors that we are here to ensure that their safety and protection is a matter of the highest national concern. And therefore, this is something which we would earnestly appeal to all the young doctors that this is something, please trust us. That's why we have not left it to just the High Court. The High Court, of course, consists of very seasoned judges. The Chief Justice was monitoring the investigation by the CBI, but we felt that this is now not a matter of a particular offense, however serious and horrendous the offense is, but something which affects the institution of healthcare pan-India. Therefore, the need for the Supreme
Mullahs,
Court.
we welcome this. I think this must be done, Mullahs. All of us must be very positive. But Mullahs, I have only one request. Mullahs, I have only one request. Yeah, sorry.
Lord, I need, my lord, 5 minutes on this, my lord.
That's what I said. Yes,
Who is the first informant? We were talking about the first information.
yes.
Who is that first informant? Can you name us, please?
Name him,
Who is the first informant
we
who
just-
launched the FIR?
the one, I just find out. Mullahs.
And we would also like to know the time of the registration of the.
The father of the victim.
Wait a minute, please don't
Please don't.
interfere. Don't interfere.
The
please.
first UD case was done by the police on its own.
So that is not an FIR. What is section 174 of the old CRPC today? Can anyone assist us, please?
Yes, what's?
So that's just a report.
Yes, was to start the investigation.
Then who lodged the FIR?
183.
First, the father of the deceased.
Yes.
Then
And
the
then
vice
vice
principal of the
principal of
hospital. First, the father of the deceased and vice principal of the hospital.
So there cannot be two FIRs.
No, but both
Who-
complaints were sent to us.
No.
Both complaints sent to us.
Tell us,
190.
whose complaint is treated as,
Father of the deceased.
this is registered at what time?
11:45 PM.
11:45?
PM.
Now, what
Next day, next day.
Yes, yes.
The night, the night, Mullah.
The night.
In the night, in the night, Mullah.
thing.
In the
Now,
night.
when is the body, one second, when is the body handed over to the parents for cremation?
Well, let's kindly have this
Could
this
just
note
tell
that
us,
I've given.
what
Just
time
take
the
it.
body handed over to the parents for cremation? One second.
Around 3:30.
13:10.
Or
No.
therefore, one thing is very clear. The body is handed over to the parents for cremation at 8:30 PM. The FIR is registered at 11:45 PM. 3 hours and 15 minutes after the body is handed over to the parents for cremation.
Well, they refused to file, well, this is the problem. We handed it over, they filed the FIR, they made the complaint at 11:45. They say, we are in shock, please do whatever you want to do. They wanted a postmortem, we did the postmortem, all is videographed, everything is videographed.
The autopsy and the postmortem take place.
Between 1:45 to 4 PM.
Now, between 1:45 and 4 PM,
Yeah.
the autopsy takes place, followed by the
Why not the
postmortem.
autopsy took place at 6 o'clock, not at.
Fair enough, that's all
6.
right. We take it as between 1 and 4 o'clock. It doesn't take place in 1 minute. It takes
That was
time.
when.
Videograph,
1 second, don't keep on interrupting.
they wanted
So
a board, we
are
constituted a
proceeding-
board.
We are proceeding on the basis of Mr. Sibal's hypothesis that the autopsy and the postmortem take place between 1 and 4:45 in the afternoon. Now,
Lordship, there is-
notwithstanding this, clearly,
Lordship, there-
the autopsy would reveal that this is a case where a doctor has been murdered, where she has been murdered. The FIR is registered at 11:45 in the night, Mr. Sibal.
And who was expected to register?
Nobody in the hospital registers the FIR.
No,
The father registers what was the principal or the vice principal? What were the authorities of the hospital doing?
Look, they wanted a board, we constituted a board, they wanted a magistrate, we got the
You
magistrate.
don't need
They
that
realize
time
that
for
murder has
registration
been
of
the
FIR.
history of
You don't need a medical board for
they are-
registration of
pol-
FIR.
we are
At
in a
the moment,
medical
at the moment, Miller's, what are we considering? We are considering, Miller's, two or three things, as your lordship has put to
Have
me.
not done.
How did these photographs reach the social media?
No,
But
that's
I'll mention all this, how did these photographs reach the media? We have nothing to do with it.
No, let
because
us
we
not
ordered out
trivialize, my lord.
everything. People there took photographs, came in, took photographs and sent it. Number two, Miller's, number two, immediately, Miller's, immediately an unnatural death case, Miller's, was started and an investigation was started. Your lordship may be right, Miller's, why did it happen? But whatever the parents were doing, we were agreeing with that. We set up a board. We asked the magistrate to come, a judicial magistrate to be present. Everything was videographed. Everything was called.
Mr. Sibal, it is the
Application
obligation
was
of
made
the
before the Sialta
authorities
court.
of the hospital. The parents are not present in the hospital when the murder takes place.
Yes.
It's the obligation of the authorities of the hospital to register an FIR the moment they
2:45 it was done. 2:45 done. The letter was sent.
11:45 in the
No, 2:45 letter was sent. Assistant superintendent sent a letter at 2:45 minutes. It is not 11:30, at 2:45 itself, we'll set out all this, Malaj. It's better we set it.
What we,
Your lordships may give me 5 minutes, my lord,
yes,
to further, my lord, to assist your lordships. My lord, first of all, Lord, let us not trivialize on this side, my lord, we are dealing with one incident, but your lordships are rightly looking at a larger picture. But we are dealing with, my lord, a young doctor, not only raped by a sexual pervert or perverts, but who was an animal-like instinct, who had an animal-like instinct, the way, my lord, the body was handled. Thereafter, my lord, I don't wish, my lord, to make this a political issue. I would request the state also not to be in a denial mode. 3 hours of the patient, parents waiting, my lord, is something we can experience if we put ourselves in that position. Now, my lord, so far as the safety is concerned, my lord, one thing I must bring to your lordship's notice. My lord, the doctors are genuinely, my lord, have a grievance. They are, my lord, they've lost one of their colleagues, my lord, globally. But, my lord, out of, my lord, all states, 23 states have legislations dealing with, my lord, what is called for, my lord, Kerala, my lord, so-and-so Medicare service persons and medical service institutions, prevention of violence and damage or loss to the property act. There are, my lord, I'll give, my lord, the list of acts. My lord, this also the National Task Force, my lord, can go,
the punishment which is provided under.
it's a cognizable, my lord, and
3 years.
3 years.
yes, my lord. It's cognizable, non-bailable, and punishment is 3 years. My lord, this is first. I'll, my lord, place it. The National Task Force, my lord, which our lordships contemplate, can, my lord, go into this, can even make suggestions, and it should be welcome, my lord. My lord, second thing, my lord, which is worrying us is this. My lord, even in a well-organized function, if we want the presence of 500 people in an auditorium, we all know we have to make efforts. 7,000 people at the middle of the night armed with lathis and hockeys, my lord, can never be without the knowledge, if not consent, of the police force. It's complete failure of law and order, my lord, in the entire state.
What time did the vandalization of the hospital take place?
My lord,
Midnight.
midnight, it's at midnight, my lord.
I thought my
7,000
learned
people-
friend, he doesn't want to politicize the matter, Malaj. Why is he saying all this?
Now,
Let's-
why this is, my lord, important.
We should be called upon. We'll tell you what happened.
Mr. Solicitor, what we'll do is that we'll.
One more aspect,
One.
one more aspect. Lord, and my lord, again, my learned friend may feel that this is, my lord, but this is directly related to the issue in question. Lord, the West Bengal has an in-charge DIG.
In
Lord,
charge?
in-charge DIG, Director General of Police, who is already being charged and being my lord, considered by your lordships for having fabricated or otherwise dealt with the evidence in Sharda scam case. Lord, your lordship's
Calcutta
direction
police
is
doesn't
the
come under
command-
DGP.
Mr.
Calcutta police doesn't come under DGP. Why are you saying all this?
What this has to do
Lord,
then.
This is
Director
Kolkata
General
police.
of Police
This has nothing
is
to
an
do with
in-charge
What is
DGP.
all this?
charge.
Lord, let someone else be
Well,
the
this is
in-charge.
what is happening.
Let them choose, but not the man who is already
This
accused
is the kind of
having-
misinformation we're having, Malaj.
This is
And
This is nothing to do, this is a
nothing to do.
only a minute.
Malas, I have only one small request.
Another
What do you propose to do about the principle?
Whatever your lordship says, we'll do, Malas.
As
Malas, whatever your lordship says, we will do. There's no issue. SIT is constituted.
state, you must.
SIT is constituted, but whatever your lordships will say, we will do. We are not, Malas, this is not adversarial, as I said. Malas, just give me just 1 minute. I just handed over something to your lordship. Just have a look at it. Malas.
Depends on
Just
the.
give it to my lord.
Can
3
I
copies
only
that I hand.
All right, Mr. Sibal, we'll just hear the solicitor for a minute. He just wants a minute.
All
and then we-
Lord, I just, my lord, I want this, my lord.
Your lordship,
Lord,
may I
an
just submit?
in-charge
No,
DG who
wait.
is already a tainted officer in an affidavit filed before this court should be replaced by any other in-charge DG of their choice.
Malas, just have this.
Another,
We have
another one.
set- Just, we have set out what is in the media and we have set out the reality.
No, share it with
For-
all of us.
We will share it, don't worry.
No.
Kolkata police informed the family members that the present case
No,
was
they
a
are
case
in
of
a denial
suicide.
mode.
False.
No, another aspect,
False.
another aspect.
At no
Not
time did the
cast
police give this
judgment.
information.
See, what we propose to do is, we'll indicate what the broad parameters of our intervention in this matter consists of. We'll just pronounce it very shortly. For one thing, Mr. Sibal, we are very, very concerned. Let not the power of the state of West Bengal be unleashed on peaceful protesters.
I give to your, we
Lord,
have
why-
videos, we have
Protest-
videos
without
of
protest,
all
it
that
is
happened.
unleashed.
People, whether they are doctors, civil society, lawyers, people who are protesting, so long as there's no act of destruction of.
We have
public
videos.
property,
We agree,
let there not be the power of the state unleashed. on
agree.
Peaceful protest.
Malas, I agree,
Should-
and that has not
Help
happened.
the-
1 second. We have videos which we have placed, we will place before your lordship. And Malas, what happens is political parties get into the act and this is what happens.
People who are taking to the media to communicate their views,
Yes.
let us deal with them with a great deal of.
I agree, I
sympathy. It's a time of national catharsis. because
Look at the girl, don't
Cross
be in
the-
denial.
Malas,
mode.
now, for example, they say pelvic and collarbone was broken. False. Postmortem doesn't say that.
We're not
Lordship,
going to fight
state
now.
and the center, they'll keep arguing.
CBI,
Fair.
CBI is investigating it.
Yes.
We will ask for a report from the CBI. Now, what we propose to do is,
I just.
1 second,
Just one second.
this must stop. We are in charge of the proceeding. We have heard Mr. Solicitor, we have heard Mr. Sibal. If we start hearing all the interveners, there'll be no end to it.
Lordship,
Please have some patience. We are going to now tell you what we are proposing to do. We are not disposing of the case, but let's allow us to at least pronounce what we intend to do. All right.
No, this is the
Uh,
list of
okay.
acts.
Would your lordship just
This
On,
is the minute, my
on,
lord.
on 9 August 2024, a 31-year-old postgraduate doctor at RG Kar Medical College Hospital, Kolkata, who was in a 36-hour duty shift, was raped and murdered inside the seminar room of the hospital. As horrific details have emerged in the course of media reportage, the brutality of the sexual assault and the nature of the crime have shocked the conscience of the nation. The name and graphic images of the deceased have been widely circulated on social media without regard to her privacy or dignity. Writ petitions were instituted before the Calcutta High Court seeking, among other things, a court-monitored investigation of the crime and the conduct of the hospital authorities, including the role of the principal of the medical college and other officials by a special team of investigating officers. It has been alleged that the parents of the deceased were initially informed that their daughter had committed suicide. They were permitted to see the dead body after several hours, and a first information report in regard to the murder was registered belatedly by the police after several hours. By its order dated 13 August 2024, the High Court transferred the investigation to the Central Bureau of Investigation. Following the incident, agitations and protests were called by doctors' associations, student bodies, and civic groups across the country. On the eve of Independence Day, several areas in Kolkata saw protests spurred by the Reclaim the Night campaign. At 12:30 a.m. on 15 August, when a protest was underway at the hospital, a large mob assembled at the premises of the RG Kar Medical College Hospital and vandalized the emergency ward and other departments of the hospital. Following the acts of wanton disruption and vandalism, the Indian Medical Association, a private and voluntary organization of doctors in India, called for a nationwide withdrawal of medical services except emergency services for 24 hours on 17 August 2024. In the aftermath of the brutal incident and the demonstrations which followed, the state government was expected to ensure the deployment of the state machinery to prevent a breach of law and order. It was all the more necessary to do so since investigation of the crime which took place in the precincts of the hospital was underway. We are unable to comprehend how the state was not prepared to deal with the incident of vandalization of the premises of the hospital. Nationwide protests following the brutal incident in Arjikar Medical College Hospital have brought the issue of the lack of institutional safety for doctors to the forefront. Medical associations have consistently raised issues of the lack of workplace safety in healthcare institutions. Medical professionals, in the performance of their duties, have been unfortunate targets of various forms of violence. Hospitals and medical care facilities are open throughout the day and night. Medical professionals, doctors, nurses, and paramedic staff work round the clock. Unrestricted access to every part of healthcare institutions has made healthcare professionals susceptible to violence. Patients of relatives in anguish are quick to attribute untoward results to the negligence of medical professionals. Such allegations are immediately followed by violence against medical professionals. In May 2024, two on-duty doctors were allegedly attacked by relatives of a patient who died during treatment in a hospital in West Bengal. In another incident in May 2024 in Bihar, following the death of a 25-year-old pregnant patient, a nurse was allegedly pushed off the first floor of the building by the kin of the patient. In August 2024, a final year resident in a hospital in Hyderabad was allegedly assaulted by a patient's attendants after the patient died due to medical conditions. These incidents of violence are a few among the many that have been unleashed against members of the medical community in the recent past. They are portents of a systemic failure to protect doctors, nurses, and paramedical staff in the confines of hospitals. With few or no protective systems to ensure their safety, medical professionals have become vulnerable to violence. With the involvement of systemic issues for healthcare across the nation, this court has had to intervene. Women are at particular risk of sexual and non-sexual violence in these settings. Due to ingrained patriarchal attitudes and biases, relatives of patients are more likely to challenge women medical professionals. In addition to this, female medical professionals also face different forms of sexual violence at the workplace by colleagues, seniors, and persons in authority. Sexual violence has had its origins even within the institution, the case of Aruna Shanbag being a case in point. There is a hierarchy within medical colleges, and the career advancement and academic degrees of young professionals are capable of being affected by those in the upper echelons. The lack of institutional safety norms at medical establishments against both violence and sexual violence against medical professionals is a matter of serious concern. While gendered violence is the source of more malevolent manifestations of the structural deficiencies in public health institutions, the lack of safety is of concern to all medical professionals. Preserving safe conditions of work is central to realizing equality of opportunity to every working professional. This is not just a matter of protecting doctors. Their safety and well-being as health providers is a matter of national interest. As more and more women join the workforce in cutting-edge areas of knowledge and science, the nation has a vital stake in ensuring safe and dignified conditions of work. The constitutional value of equality demands nothing else and will not brook compromises on the health, well-being, and safety of those who provide health care to others. The nation cannot await another rape or murder for real changes on the ground. Several states, such as Maharashtra, Kerala, Karnataka, Telangana, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, have enacted legislation to protect healthcare service professionals from violence and damage to property. All these enactments prohibit any act of violence against medical professionals. The offense is non-bailable and punishable with 3 years of imprisonment. However, these enactments do not address the institutional and systemic causes that underlie the problem, and enhanced punishment without improving institutional safety standards falls short of addressing the problem effectively. We have attempted to flag here the ground reality indicating the lack of institutional safety standards in healthcare institutions. A non-exhaustive formulation is set out below. A. Medical professionals who are posted for night duties are not provided adequate resting spaces. More often, doctors rest in the patient's room or in available public spaces. Duty rooms are scanned. Separate duty rooms for male and female medical professionals are conspicuous by their absence in most healthcare establishments. B. Interns, residents, and senior residents are made to perform 36-hour shifts in conditions where even basic needs of sanitation, nutrition, hygiene, and rest are lacking. There is an absence of uniformity in terms of a standard national protocol. The fear of retribution prevents most healthcare professionals from questioning the absence of facilities for basic well-being. C. Lack of security personnel in medical care units is more of a norm than an exception. More often than not, medical professionals, which includes young resident doctors, interns, and nurses, are left to handle unruly attenders. Open access to healthcare facilities leaves medical professionals vulnerable to undesirable elements. D. Medical care facilities do not have sufficient toilet facilities. Most often, there is only one common toilet for medical professionals in one department. E. The hostels or places of stay for medical professionals are situated far from the hospital. Doctors and nurses who have to travel to and from the hospital are not provided transport facilities by the institution. Even within the precincts of the sprawling spaces of public hospitals, there is either inadequate or no transportation facilities for the safe commute of professionals. F. There is an absence or lack of properly functioning CCTV cameras to monitor ingress and egress to the hospital and to control access to sensitive areas. G. The patients and their attenders have unrestricted access to all places within the hospital, including intensive care units and the doctor's resting rooms. H. Lack of screening for arms and weapons at the entrance of hospitals. I. Dingy and ill-lit places within the hospitals. J. Medical professionals have to shoulder the responsibility of being both medical and emotional caregivers to patients and their relatives. There are no supportive facilities and no training and communication skills. And K. Certain spaces within hospitals, such as the intensive care unit and the emergency wards, are prone to a greater risk of violence because of the severity of medical conditions of patients in these departments. We have, in this backdrop, formed the view that a national consensus must be evolved after due consultation with all stakeholders on the urgent need to formulate protocols governing the issues which this order has highlighted. We have attempted to compose for this purpose a diverse body of persons with experience in healthcare institutions. A national task force with the following members of the medical profession is hence constituted. 1. Surgeon Vice Admiral Aarti Saryan, AVSM, VSM, Director General Medical Services, Navy. 2. Dr. D. Nageshwar Reddy, Chairman and Managing Director, Asian Institute of Gastroenterology and AIG Hospitals, Hyderabad. 3. Dr. M. Srinivas, Director, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, Delhi. 4. Dr. Pratima Murthy, Director, National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, Bangalore. E. Dr. Govardhan Dutt Puri, Executive Director, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Jodhpur. 5. 6. Dr. Soumitra Rawat, Chairperson, Institute of Surgical Gastroenterology, GI and HPB Oncosurgery and Liver Transplantation, and Member Board of Management, Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi, and Member Court of Examiners of the Royal College of Surgeons, England. 8. Professor Anita Saxena, Vice Chancellor, Pandit B.D. Sharma Medical University, Rohtak, formerly Dean of Academics, Chief Cardiothoracic Center and Head Cardiology Department at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi. 9. Dr. Pallavi Saple, Dean, Grant Medical College and Sir J.J. Group of Hospitals, Mumbai. And 10. Dr. Padma Srivastav, former professor at the Department of Neurology, AIIMS, Delhi, currently serving as the Chairperson of Neurology at Paras Health, Gurugram. The following shall be the ex officio members of the NTF. A. The Cabinet Secretary to the Government of India. B. The Home Secretary to the Government of India. C. the Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, D, Chairperson of the National Medical Commission, and E, President of the National Board of Examinations. The NTF shall formulate effective recommendations to remedy the issues of concern pertaining to safety, working conditions, and well-being of medical professionals and other cognate matters highlighted in the above segments of this order. The NTF shall, while doing so, consider the following aspects to prepare an action plan. The action plan may be categorized under two heads. One, preventing violence, including gender-based violence against medical professionals, and two, providing an enforceable national protocol for dignified and safe working conditions for interns, residents, senior residents, doctors, nurses, and all medical professionals. 1. Prevention of violence against medical professionals and providing safe working conditions. A. Ensuring due security in medical establishments. 1. Triaging departments and places within the hospital based on the degree of volatility and the possibility of violence. Areas such as emergency rooms and intensive care units are prone to a greater degree of violence and may possibly need additional security in place to deal with any untoward incident. 2. A baggage and person screening system at every entrance of the hospital to ensure that arms are not carried inside the medical establishment. 3. Preventing intoxicated persons from entering the premises of the medical establishment unless they are patients. And 4. Training security personnel employed at hospitals to manage crowds and grieving persons. B. Infrastructural development. 1. Provision of separate resting rooms and duty rooms in each department for A. Male doctors, B. Female doctors, C. Male nurses, D. Female nurses, and E. A gender-neutral common resting space. The room must be well ventilated, have sufficient bed spaces, and provide a facility for drinking water. Access to these rooms must be restricted through installation of security devices. 2. Adopting appropriate technological intervention to regulate access to critical and sensitive areas, including through the use of biometric and facial recognition. 3. Ensuring adequate lighting at all places in the hospital, and if it is a hospital attached to a medical college, all places within the campus. 4. Installation of CCTV cameras at all entrance and exit points of the hospitals and the corridors leading up to all patient rooms. And 5. If the hostels or rooms of the medical professionals are away from the hospital, provision of transport between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. for those who wish to travel to or from their place of stay to the hospital. C. Employment of social workers trained in grief and crisis counseling at all medical establishments. D. Conducting workshops for all employees of medical establishments, including doctors, nurses, and helpers, on handling grief and crisis. E. Constitution of employee safety committees composed of doctors, interns, residents, and nurses at every medical establishment to conduct quarterly audits on institutional safety measures. F. Including additional requirements on institutional safety measures for medical professionals as a criteria for accreditation of healthcare establishments by the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare Providers. And G. The possibility of establishing police posts in medical facilities commensurate with the footfall, bed strength, and facilities. 2. Prevention of sexual violence against medical professionals. A. The Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 applies to hospitals and nursing homes, including private healthcare providers. In terms of the provisions of the Act, an internal complaints committee must be constituted in all hospitals and nursing homes. B. The duties of an employer listed under Section 19 of the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, which includes organizing sensitization programs and providing a safe working space, must be discharged. And C. Ensuring for every medical institution a helpline number for medical professionals, which is open 24/7, and emergency distress facilities. It is clarified that the phrase medical professionals used in this judgment encompasses every medical professional, including doctors, medical students who are undergoing their compulsory rotating medical internship as a part of the MBBS course, resident doctors and senior resident doctors, and nurses, including those who are nursing interns. The phrases medical establishments, hospital, medical institutions are interchangeably used. The NTF shall be at liberty to make recommendation on all aspects of the action plan highlighted above and any other aspects which the members seek to cover. They are at liberty to make additional suggestions where appropriate. The NTF shall also suggest appropriate timelines by which the recommendations could be implemented based on the existing facilities in hospitals. The NTF is required to consult all stakeholders. Bearing in mind the gravity and urgency of the situation, we have included the heads of the National Medical Commission and the National Board of Examinations as ex officio members of the NTF. Bearing in mind the national concerns which have been raised over the issue and the high priority which must be given to the creation of safe working conditions in healthcare institutions, we request the Cabinet Secretary to the Union Government to associate with the work of the NTF. The Home Secretary of the Union Government has also been made a member of the NTF in order to facilitate proper coordination with the state governments. The Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Government of India will be the Member Secretary of the NTF. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare will provide all logistical support, including making arrangements for travel, stay, and secretarial assistance, and bear the expenses of the members of the NTF. The NTF is requested to submit an interim report within 3 weeks and the final report within 2 months from the date of this order. All state governments and union territory governments through their secretaries in the Ministries of Health and Family Welfare and the central government through the Secretary Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare must collate information from all hospitals run by the state and by the central government respectively on the following aspects. A, how many security personnel are employed at each hospital and each department? B, whether there is a baggage and person screening mechanism in place at the entrance of the medical establishment. C, the total number of resting stroke duty rooms in the hospital and specific details of the number in each department. D, the facilities provided in the resting stroke duty rooms. E, information on whether all areas of the hospital are accessible to the general public and if so, with or without any security restrictions. F, whether there are CCTV cameras in the hospital. If there are, how many and in which locations? G, whether the institution provides medical professionals training to appropriately handle the grief of patients. If so, the details of the training must be provided. H, whether social workers who specialize in handling grief of families of the patients are employed at the hospital. If so, then total number of social workers must be provided. I, whether there are police outposts within the premises of the hospital or the medical college hospital campus. J, whether an internal complaints committee in terms of the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013 has been constituted. And K, whether the employer of the establishment has discharged the duties prescribed by Section 19 of the Act of 2013. If so, the details of it. The data submitted shall be tabulated and filed with an affidavit by the Union Government within 1 month from this order. The Central Bureau of Investigation shall submit a status report to this court by, we'll say 22nd and not 23rd, by 22nd August 2024 on the progress in the investigation of the crime at RG Kar Medical College Hospital. The state of West Bengal shall also file a status report by 22 August 2024 on the progress of the investigation on the acts of vandalism which took place at the hospital in the aftermath of the incident. The matter will now be listed on 22 August 2020.
Only one request. What is shared by the state of West Bengal with your lordships be given to CBI. We also need, like, have it. They cannot have any objection.
1 second, I can just say, when that is.
What is shared by.
My lord, can I just add one thing, my lord?
Only what is shared.
Principal of the college, is he now under suspension? Is he on long leave? What's that?
He's on leave. He's on leave. High Court order is Miller's operative. He's on leave. He's on leave. There's an SIT constituted also for all kinds of.
My lord, can I?
Lords, I would.
Anywhere, right?
No.
Lord, can I add one
That's
thing?
why I said, Miller,
I
whatever
would,
your lordship says, we'll
repeat my
abide by it.
request,
That's not
Lord,
enough.
whatever is shared,
My
your lordships, Lord, the CBI must be.
Yeah.
given.
No, no, we will file an affidavit.
But you have shared something with the
One
court, so you
second,
can't
hold
have
on,
any
hold on.
objection.
And not this point, Mullah. In
Lord,
fact, what
No,
has
I am
happened,
on that point
what
first.
happens is, Mullah, this goes to them, then the social media takes action, it'll
No, there-
exacerbate the
CBI
situation. This is only to inform your lordships, Mullah, that what's in the social media is not correct, and what's happening is just contrary to
Why
what the
can't we
record is.
share with
For
CBI?
example, they say it's a
But
suicide. It is not a
so, you know,
suicide. We never said.
Tainted.
We will, but Mr. Sibal, there was undoubtedly an unexplained delay. from-
I am not on merit.
Yes, Manoj,
I am not on
what
that.
is to hide from CBI?
Mullah,
Manoj,
one
this-
second.
This shows we are
One
not
second,
getting
one, I
cooperation.
am not on that, Mullah. Mullah, as I said, whatever needs to be done must be done. People must be convicted. There is no issue on that. It's just that I don't want, Mullah, another kind of tirade in the social media.
No, it
Mullah,
will not be. You give
It
it to
will be, it will
CBI.
be,
You
I
are
know it.
supposed to give it to
Possible.
CBI.
One more thing. The state must ensure that those who practiced acts of vandalism and
Absolutely.
Yes.
We have lodged
37.
37 already arrested, 50 FIRs filed. 37 already arrested.
50 FIR for one incident. It's
Let's be
it's a
clear.
recipe for not investigating.
You have, one second, you have a copy of before we part with the matter for today, you have a copy of the autopsy report here?
Yes.
We have it.
I-
We have it.
I have.
We hand it over. Yes, yes.
My lord, in the meantime,
Lord,
can I add
would,
one
Lord,
thing? My lord?
again request, my Lord, if your lordships have seen something your lordships have, Lord, the CBI must be given, it will remain, my Lord, confidential. But we must cross-check what is given to
Lord,
you.
your lordship.
This, the resistance shows that there is a lack of
No,
cooperation.
no,
with
obviously
CBI.
there is a lack of faith.
So that we
Lord, your
can
lordship.
do that on that day, Mr.
Only 1 second,
Yes,
Lord.
day after tomorrow.
Give
My Lord,
the
let-
entire
let-
thing.
Today, my Lord, they can give me today. My joint director is here. I'll give it to her.
Just allow. Yes. Yeah, yes. Now, my
What
lord,
is there to hide from
one
CBI,
second,
my
one
Lord?
second.
If they have given
Nothing is-
something related to crimes, it must be given, my Lord, to the
Kindly see-
CBI.
Kindly see page 40. Kindly,
Yeah, don't read it aloud, we'll just.
kindly page 40.
पेट को बोलो काम शुरू करें.
Yes, yes, I know.
पेट को बोलो काम शुरू करें.
Hmm. Explain this. I'll just say, read. Outside.
Only know, my lord, what is being shown to your lord.
It's the postmortem
Postmortem
report, which
report.
is in the
Say
case
that, I
diary.
asked you 4 times, what is
Postmortem
the, why hide this?
Yes, I give he has case diary, has it, my lord? Postmortem report is there. I don't know why I'm showing nothing else.
Case diary has been handed over to the
Handed over to
CBI,
the CBI.
the entire case diary, inclusive of.
Yeah,
protocol.
inclusive of
Ah,
this.
that- there.
I mean,
She's not a lady, yeah.
Inquest report.
Yes.
Yes, we have. Give the entire thing to, yes. Please give it to my lord.
Got it. The entire- Just get the whole copy. Right, or no? In copy.
3 copies, please.
Just put a flap on that inquest. report.
Please, put a flag, please.
If you can share that, I have it, but just if you can share it.
Put a flag,
Mr.
put a
Sibal
flag.
neither says yes nor say no, but doesn't give, my lord. That's the stand he has adopted from the
You can
day one.
continue to say that. You can continue to say that. You will, I know
Yes, my
you'll
lord,
repeat
it is
it.
a test
And I
whether
know- and
state
why
wants
do you
to
want-
come
Yes,
clean
one second,
or
one second, just
still
one
play
second.
hide and seek.
Please,
I don't know why my learned friend.
No, you know why I am saying.
I know why you are asking.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen.
Wes,
Huh?
Give us soft copy.
You hand over the compilation to us. Hand over the compilation.
give us
The
the,
compilation and educate.
No, you don't have it on your.
give us.
We're locating the soft copy.
Whatever we have received, we'll file with our report.
What is that? What is that?
Compilation.
List of deeds.
This was the Calcutta petition.
Report, Malas. Do you have a soft copy? If you can give it. Let's see if you have a soft copy.
Hard copy. we have.
Here it is.
This is the inquest report.
This is the inquest report. This is it, Malas.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check.
Well, just to give you a sum up, as what has happened in the courtroom today, the hearing is still on, and several viewers are in a way confusing the silence as whether the silence. Well, just to give you a sum up, as what has happened in the courtroom today, whether the silence has got to do anything with our technical aspect. The answer is no. The courtroom is still hearing the matter. And as you can see, the judges are also going through a lot of documents. Now, the judges did ask for, the Chief Justice of India, the bench did ask for the post-mortem report, the inquest report, and other documents pertaining to this very case. The case diary have now been handed over to the bench, and they are going through each and every document. Now, that's the reason there is a silence, to give a sense to the viewers, not to confuse the silence with any technical glitch. It is not. The hearing procedure is still on, and the hearing would resume again. As soon as the bench goes through all the documents, they would start giving observations. Talking about observations, it is very important to understand the kind of observations the court has already given. Now, why is it important? It is important because the court has expressed, the Supreme Court, we are talking about Supreme Court, the Supreme Court has expressed very deep anguish over this horrific crime. Now, the horrific crime which has happened in Kolkata pertaining to RG Kar Medical College and Hospital medical student, the second year medical student, the trainee doctor who was raped and murdered. that has in a way shaken the conscience of the country. And if I can quote the Chief Justice of India, the Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, he is saying that, this has shaken the conscience of the country, and the protest of doctors is certainly natural. It is a natural outburst. Now, how did the Supreme Court begin its hearing today? The Supreme Court, while it began its hearing, it said that we are very concerned about the fact that the identity of the victim has been disclosed. Now, we have to understand it's a very big matter. We know as a matter of fact that the pictures of the doctor, the deceased doctor, the pictures of the crime scene with the body lying over there, the name of the doctor, the pictures of the family, that is the father and the mother, they have all gone viral on social media. There is no concrete proof as yet who started this cycle of leaking those information and how did they come to fore. But the very fact that they are in public domain, it has been a matter of concern for the Supreme Court, quite rightfully, as the Supreme Court said, as this is going on, because you are supposed to protect the identity of the victim, and that is sacrosanct. Here in this case, the identity of the victim is simply not come out. It has come out in such a way that pictures from even the crime scene had gone viral, and it's all over the places. To which Kapil Sibal, who was representing the government of West Bengal, government of Mamata Banerjee, he said that these pictures were taken even before police could, reach the spot, and police could take complete control of the matter. But then these pictures were taken, and in a way indicating that the pictures have not been leaked by police. Now, did really cut that any kind of the Supreme Court? The answer is a big no, because the Supreme Court has expressed, as I said, deep amount of anguish over the identity of the victim or the fighter being so much there out in public domain. How did this start, and where did this start from? As I said, nobody knows. There are multiple complaints being registered. That's what Kapil Sibal also claimed. We also know, as a matter of fact, that several reports have been sent by doctors of the Arjikor Medical College and Hospital who have been out there on a protest for the past 12 days, I would say. Even as we speak, the protest is going on. So as far as the doctors are concerned, their protest had been going on for the past several days, and the doctors had been saying that we do not know how did these pictures have come out. But the fact that the post-mortem report has come out in public, the post-mortem report has come out in public just day before yesterday. How did this come out in public? Nobody knows. These pictures which we are all talking about, I'm sure it has been there on social media. Still several posting those pictures. Those pictures have also those pictures have also been put out in couple of digital media and also couple of mainstream media. Of course, they have tried blurring it, but the fact that those pictures have found a way out has concerned the apex court, the Supreme Court bench, extremely disappointed with this very aspect. That's one. Second of all, the Kapil Sibal on behalf of the government is saying that they have received multiple complaints and they are probing it, and also, as a matter of fact, they're also trying to understand that who has tried breaching the sanctity of this probe. Is that all?
The rape case one, main accused, the main accused. He was a civic worker, and his Bluetooth was found at the spot. Therefore, we connected it with the mobile. The CCTV also footage was there, so we connected it. We went to him and we realized, what had happened, that he, along with one Mr. Bhatta, very interesting, was talking up.
Whenever your lordship finds CBI.
My lord, I just need 10 seconds.
Saurabh Bhattacharya, he was, let me just explain what, yeah, it's a case diary, you have it all.
Only 10 seconds, my lord.
No, just allow me, allow me.
Lord,
What had happened?
same comprehensive issue
One
on which your lordships are perfectly framed. This deliberation and this exercise took place between 2016 to 2018 for preparing some protocol and some law. My lord, it resulted into framing of a legislation in 2019. Draft legislation is with me, with the central government forming a committee with IMA and other stakeholders. They gave a report. Report resulted into a draft legislation on violence against, my lord, medical practitioners and medical establishment. It is pending. IMA, my lord, represents the entire community of doctors. So if your lordships consider it appropriate, they can contribute in the participation of the committee, my lord.
Mahendra Singh, we have already said
Your
that they will consult all stakeholders.
Correct, that's
We have-
what your lordship said.
And we have specifically referred to IMA.
May I just add, my lord?
I just want to-
That this particular exercise, to whatever it's worth, my lord, is
Can be placed before
there.
the
And
committee.
if your lordship could consider, my lord, they can also two nominees to work with them. That's all. I'm not saying anything more.
you can
In-
write to the Secretary Ministry
Yeah,
of
very
Health
well.
and Family Welfare, so
I
that the
will-
committee will consult
in-
IMA. We have in
in-
fact referred to the role of IMA.
Very
My
well.
lord, in
I'll do it.
addition to what
Great.
Mr. Manendra Singh has said, my lord, then can I just add, my lords have said, my lord, there are three legislations we have tabulated, my lord.
No, we have not said change.
Three or, my lord, for 23 legislations. I'm
We
sorry.
have said several states,
Yes, that's what your
including.
lordship
we
is
haven't
My lord,
named
we have tabulated
This
23, but
exam,
none of
let
them has
it be done by
preventive
the
measures.
judge.
My lord, there is two more.
Kansaria, that's not inconsistent with
Well,
what we have said.
No,
We
there,
have said several states,
Well,
including.
my lord,
that-
only two more suggestions, my lord, if your lordship consider it appropriate to include, my lord. One is institutional FIR, my lord, must be lodged within the 2 hours of a cognizable offense happening within the incident. One, my lord. Second, my lord, if your lordship kindly permit me, a distress call system, my lord, may be available.
We have already referred to that.
It is to the
We
women.
have specifically referred to it.
Yes, yeah, my lord has already read.
Can I just? Your lordship.
Your Lordship, we are for the women doctors, young doctors, Your Lordship. What we request, Your Lordship, if we can have a software mechanism system where a distress call alert can be linkaged with the police station.
This can be
Yeah,
suggestions
hereby.
for the
And
task
secondly,
force.
Your Lordship, if
Yeah,
we can
you're
have a
absolutely right.
proper functioning of CCTV cameras inside.
We
the
have done this.
file.
Right. In fact, we have flagged these very issues.
Yes, yes.
Your
We've
lordship,
done a mobile app, we've done a,
the protesters need to be protected. Your lordship's
Say, this, one second.
One
One second. You haven't filed a PIL this time? Every week from you. A list on 22. We expect that the government of West Bengal shall observe necessary restraint in the face of peaceful protests to be conducted by any quarter of civil society bearing on the issues which form the subject matter of the incident which took place in Kolkata. To stop. The necessary, it shall be ensured that the power of the state is not unleashed either against persons using legitimate means to express their opinions
sure.
or to participate. in
Yes, yes, no doubt, my lord. Except that,
The darkest protest must be banned, my lord. They leave the OTP and all treatment and they get the.
Since this court is seized of the matter pertaining to the safety and well-being of all medical professionals, their workplaces, as an issue involving high national priority, from us. We would request all the doctors who are abstaining from work across the country to resume work at the earliest.
Lordship, may I come in with
Stop.
your lordship? Please, Your
The
Lordship.
earliest will stop. Above all, the abstention from work of doctors affects those segments of society who need medical care, medical care the most from accessing health-related services. Will stop. The abstaining doctors and medical professionals stand assured that their concerns are receiving the highest concern from the Supreme Court of India. But besides, their concerns are being portrayed before this court by a diverse range of counsel on both sides.
deeply obliged.
Lordships, I'm talking about the women doctors of the place where the incident has happened. Now, Lordships, it's very important. I'm sorry for Lordships insisting over and over again, but Lordships, I think it's of some importance in the matter. So Lordships, the day on 14th August night, the day the attack took place on the doctors, when the protesters were on the site, the same hoodlums, they went to the hostel. They actually threatened the lady resident doctors. And they were threatened with the kind of threat that's given to women every time they protest. Lordships, very harsh things and they were threatened with very harsh consequences. Now, Lordships, now the women doctors, subject to, this is what I've been instructed by an association of doctors in West Bengal, and they are in touch with the resident doctors. They said that the women's hostel, most of the women, they've been called back by their parents because they're not feeling safe. So your lordships, when your lordships say they should join this, and because on that very date, the police, the state police, they ran away from the scene. Lordships, it's widely reported. I don't need to emphasize. Just
life
let me,
in
Anyway.
let me
West
complete.
Bengal.
Lordship, this is
I'm
very
not
sensitive
making it
information.
political. It's, my
Lord,
lord,
he's appearing for the doctors. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Lordship. So what happened is after, yeah. So what happened, the police just left them and they were actually, the police hid in the changing room of the nurses. This is what the doctors told me, Lordship.
Video.
Now, if I am, this is not, I don't want to be caught between the political battle of these two sides. Now,
there is no political bet.
let me just explain. So what I'm just for the students and the doctors practicing, the Association of Doctors. In fact, one doctor, a very brave doctor, I don't want to take the gender. So it gave a representation to the police. So a lot of people have given a representation of the police. They have asked me to forward it to your lordships in sealed envelope. I have 3 copies of the representation. Lordships may just have a look to see what is the position of the doctors there.
My lord, I can
My
make
lord,
it
it's a
clear, my
very
lord, we
brief
do not
point.
make this political, but we also receive, my lord, complaints. This is the hard reality on ground. Our learned friend is not keeping mum for no reason.
What is all this going on? I'm not keeping mum for no reason.
Therefore, is not
I
sharing
don't
anything with the
understand.
CBI.
What my, we've given the entire case diary. What more do you want?
Is this hostel a part of the hospital? Or it is at a far off place?
Yes, ma'am, within the campus.
The part,
But I was told that one set went to the hospital when they ransacked. Some goons, they went to the hostel.
ladies hostel and then the lady doctors hostel and male doctors hostel, they are all different.
I assume so, Lordship, because they said that one set,
How many doctors, intern doctors are there in the hostel today?
Lordships, I am told,
How many were actually
90% of the women doctors are not there.
in numbers? How many?
How many were there
How
in the
many were
hospital?
there and how many have left now?
Lordships, I'll just take the information
Ask
right now.
someone
Just
who knows about it.
I'll-
Mr. Sibyl, this is very serious.
Very serious, of course.
Because
No doubt about it.
What was the police? What is the police?
No, I agree, my lord.
This
So
is
if
tip
if
of
some-
an iceberg, my lord. I don't wish to.
that is
enter
why
into it.
FIRs have been registered. We'll take strong action. Photo, we have got from the CCTVs, photos have been,
Service takes
one thing.
years.
from the CCTVs, photos have been identified and we have lodged FIRs. Madhus, and we are taking, those people have been arrested. 37 people have been arrested.
But Mr. Sibyl, arrest is another thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were protests of the doctors.
Yes, of course.
This was part of the wider protests which were going on that night.
Absolutely.
It was called Reclaim the Night.
Yes.
The West Bengal government could not have been unaware of the fact that when there are protests across the country, there's always another segment which will try and disrupt this.
What?
The women the women doctors are assaulted. The police run away from the scene. Thereafter, the women doctors are called out by name, namely the people who are leading the protest, and they were threatened with the same fate that has befallen the others.
Well, if they tell us, we'll take strong action. Madhus, I agree. I'm not disputing.
You are supposed to be
Madhus,
aware.
hold on. My lord is asking me and let me respond.
What was the police?
What is that?
What was the police force doing
What?
in anticipation?
What
of
happened was there were
During the
150. There were 100. Hold on, allow me. Mr. Sita, sir, I don't.
Please don't interrupt, Mr.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
We are putting a point to him.
And as I said, Madhus, we are on the same side in this, Madhus. Now, there were 150 policemen. Madhus, what happened was that outside the hospital itself, 150, in anticipation, 150 policemen. But Madhus, what happened was 7,000 people came. By the time we got additional force, which came later, this vandalism took place. This is what happened.
You 7,000.
We picked them up. We picked them up from there, Madhus.
It doesn't appear that 7,000 people vandalized the place.
No, they
It
didn't.
appears-
I didn't say that.
Then
Because
it
by the
was
time
80 to 90 people,
Maximum.
they indulged in vandalism.
we have the video, we'll show it. There's no issue on that.
And
Facts can't be, Madhus, distorted.
did the police run away from the site?
No, that can't be, Madhus. We'll find out.
It's
How can the police run
impossible
away?
Police not
No
knowing
police run away,
7,000
Madhus. These allegations, if you take them,
Impossible.
Madhus, as face value,
Impossible, my lord.
then we have a problem. We have a video. I'll show it to you, Your Honor.
Civil, we don't want.
Can we show you the video?
We
have to send them for
We
vandalism.
don't want to disclose the name or even the designation of the person who has written it. But please rest assured that this is not an ordinary complaint which has been.
No, I agree,
which has
Manoj.
been
I agree.
submitted.
Let's see the video. We'll show.
No,
we can-
please
we
do
can
not
upload it.
disclose. He or she will meet
can
with the
upload it.
same fate.
Police calls the protesting doctors, threatening them.
Just see, Manoj, we got the video. It's pen drive also. We can give it to you. There's a pen drive. We can give you the pen drive.
Mr. Sibal, this email was sent on 19th of August by this particular doctor to the
Just give it.
ID of the Kolkata police
Lordships, it's been sent
at 22 hours.
Yesterday, Manoj.
But therefore, but tell us one thing, what is the police doing?
Manoj,
Because
it was sent yesterday. We are taking action. We have taken action. See
How
the
do you
video,
know
Manoj.
which
just see the
doctor,
video.
which mail, how do you know that it is yesterday?
See the video, Manoj. It's better. 150 or so, police officers were camping outside. Kindly see the video, Manoj.
Sir, Mr. Sibal,
Manoj, I'm not here to defend anybody. Please make it rest assured, Manoj.
look at it from a different angle.
Yes,
You made a fervent appeal to these doctors.
yes,
Please join your duty.
correct.
The marginalized section of the society is suffering. They
Absolutely.
can't afford to go to.
I agree entirely.
Now, these doctors, the lady doctors who are in the hospital, even if we ask the government to provide them with police protection, this police is going to protect.
No,
them.
Manoj, we'll make sure.
That is our previous.
Trust the
so
police.
at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital, because obviously the women doctors have left for the reason that they are fearful of their safety. If the premises of this hospital have to be safeguarded for these doctors to resume duty, who is going to provide security at the premises?
Manoj, we give an undertaking to this court.
CISF
We'll give,
security,
hold on, we'll
Let
give an
it be
undertaking
central
to this
forces.
court. We'll give an.
let it be
undertaking and
CISF.
What we suggest is this, because if conditions return to normal,
We'll put additional,
if conditions return to normal at this hospital
yes,
and doctors start coming back, this will have an impact on the rest of the.
of course,
Yes.
of course.
Therefore, why does we propose that let the CISF provide security at the
Yes.
premises
Yes.
of this hospital?
And Manoj, one more thing.
I have no problems with that.
Manoj, one more thing.
Idea is that
Now
their
that-
security is paramount. So please, if
Yes.
your lordship wants.
Manoj, now one more, Manoj, I am inviting this order. The person who has complained, Manoj, we do not know. But the state possibly knows. They say that the email was received at 22. Let that person be given special security by the CISF. Now the
No,
state knows about the person.
We will do it.
They don't want to reveal their identity.
You can't say whether the state police is incapable of all this.
Here the metro.
Lordships, 105 complaints have gone.
Many, did you get the figure?
Yes, your lordship. So there are 700 residents, 250 ladies, and only 100 are there now.
250.
250.
30
to 40 female.
150 have left.
Yes, your lordship.
100.
Approximately 30 to 40 female residents and 60 to 70 male residents remain. Everybody else has gone.
32,
Lordships, I'm told 30 to 40 female residents and 60 to 70 male residents remain. Rest have all fled.
Lord, we have this
Seven.
information.
Total 700.
Lord, when I said there is no law and order, it was not
Emergency
a
will-
political statement. We have this information and more.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
This is the
Lord, in the-
situation on ground.
just 1 second. On the night of 15 August 2024, at midnight on 15 August 2024, when acts of wanton vandalization of the premises of the RG Kar Medical College Hospital took place, a mob of persons is alleged to have systematically attacked the male and female doctors, emergency hospital staff, and hostels. Full stop. Ms. Saprajita Singh, Senior Counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, has placed on the.
Lordships, I'm not on the resident. I'm for organization of doctors from West Bengal, because they are too
For
scared. They don't
appearing
want to
for
come in,
for an organization of doctors from West Bengal
protect the warriors.
has placed on the record a copy of an email addressed on 19 August 2024 by a senior resident at the Medical College Hospital, setting out the details of the incident which took place. The court has been apprised of the fact that there were approximately 700 resident doctors at the Arjikar Medical College Hospital. Following the incident, which took place on the night of 15 August 2000 on the night between 14 and 15 August 2024, most of the resident doctors have left their place of duty, as a consequence of which approximately 30 to 40 female doctors and 60 to 70 male doctors have only remained in their hostels. It is essential to create safe conditions for the doctors to return to their duties, so as to enable them to not only pursue their duties, not only to pursue their own education, but to administer medical care to their patients. Accordingly, the court has been assured by Mr. Tushar Mehta, Learned Solicitor General of India, that the Central Industrial Security Force shall be deputed in sufficient strength. Central Reserve Police Force shall be deputed in sufficient numbers to guard the facilities of the Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, including the hostels where the resident doctors stay. Mr. Kapil Sibal, Learned Senior Counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, states that there is no objection to such a course of action being adopted so as to bring security to the
Mullah, then they'll be responsible. I'm sorry to say, they'll be responsible, Mullah, because there are two kinds of forces can't be there, Mullah.
with the provision of central security.
Or is it
the
an
hospital,
information or a
we
threat?
hope and trust that the doctors will resume duties at the earliest. Any concerns which they may have in regard to their safety may be placed in the form of an email jointly addressed by the doctors to the Registrar Judicial of this court for further necessary directions.
But I have one submission to make. CBI is not now inquiring about the activities of the principal. On the wake of it, the state government.
We'll share this email with the solicitor. This email, please, and keep it in because we don't.
It would be kept in
we don't want
confidence,
the
Mullah.
doctor to be targeted.
No, otherwise but now state of course knows, the state police would know because they've received, but I will keep it safe.
The state has constituted a seat. for the
Cover me,
Which is a form of CBI.
No, Lordships, we have assured the doctor, sorry,
Yes, see, the matter that we'll deal with on.
we have assured the doctor
Mr.
that the name
Solicitor,
will
please
not.
look at
that
the
is-
solicitor. Please look at the designation of that person who has submitted. Just look at the designation of the.
I will. Right now, I'm not, my lord, seeing that.
Yes,
Take it up on Thursday morning now.
no problem, no problem.
Permitted to file in sealed cover, whatever we.
All the petitions.
Schedule an opportunity to do that on Thursday. If there's some concern, please come back to us.
Lordships.
We'll assure the doctors all over the country that whatever concern they have, please place it before us to
We are most grateful.
counsel who are here.
Your
We'll
Lordship,
assuage your grievances the extent that we can. I'm sure this is a complete non-adversarial procedure.
Absolutely non-adversarial. We are grateful your lordships have taken up.
We'll have to file a status report. If you'll
Also,
have
we'll
to,
do this on
easier if
Thursday.
you have it on Friday morning, Mullah.
Friday, this bench in this combination is not available.
Can it be
But that's
Monday?
what-
We also get some time
Thursday
to
morning,
prepare the status report.
Thursday morning.
We'll hand it over on Thursday morning, Mullah.
Goes to Tuesday then. So
No,
that's
but
why
no,
we
we'll hand it over on Thursday morning then, Mullah, the status report.
Can it be Tuesday, Manoj?
We'll keep it on Thursday.
Which-
Thereafter, we'll keep it on Tuesday. We'll have a brief hearing on Thursday.
Yes.
Monitor the situation across the country and then place it on Tuesday. But you can give us your status reports even by Thursday morning. There's no difficulty.
All petitions may be listed. All petitions. Now, if it was not taken on record, it was filed late, Lord, it will be. So all petitions. By delivery.
We are grateful.
Guys,
Grateful to.
Yes.
We're putting you on script.
So you just heard, I'll ask you to raise it because the Supreme Court, from the Supreme Court, according if that can be scooped out and be, made available for the viewers. There are several viewers who had actually joined, and several viewers had watched the entire proceedings on News the Truth on NTT, and the court had been very, very, this time, had been very, very sharp with its observations. The court had been unmincing with its words when it came to observations. Just to running through a couple of observations. Number one, the Supreme Court has urged all the protesting doctors, the resident doctors, to resume duty. And if I can quote, the Supreme Court said that the marginalized might not be able to afford, a private hospital, and that's the reason, they would be going to the government hospitals, and in case they are going to government hospital, so in that case the doctors should be available. Empathizing with the doctors and the concern, the Supreme Court had also said that there will be a task force. A task force has been formed, and the task force has been given a clear mandate to formulate modalities. What are the modalities they are talking about? The modalities in picture are essentially about the kind of safety security measures that should be in place for doctors doctors to feel safe. Now, I will just run you through. I was just writing down all the pointers. There should be a separate resting room for doctors. For male doctors, for female doctors, there should be a proper separate resting room. The resting room should have proper security coverage. There should be absolute CCTV coverage. Proper maintenance should be there. There should be biometrics also, that so that the access can be restricted. Outsiders do not have a free passage. There should also be there should also be proper security posted at the building, even more so at the emergency ward, because at the emergency ward, at many a times, aggrieved patient parties resort to unleashing of anger through violence. So it is being told that more security should be deployed. More security should be deployed at the emergency ward, because it's the emergency ward where the doctors are most critical patients and who are first brought to the hospital, and many a times they are in a difficult state of mind, and the expression of their anguish leads to violence. So more security should be given at the emergency ward. Now, the task force which formed will comprise doctors from diverse sections, just not limited to one region. Senior doctors mostly coming from medical association, from AIMS, Delhi, AIMS, other places as well. Very senior doctors, even from Indian Navy. The doctors have been just to ensure there is absolute diverse opinion coming in as far as formulation of the special task force is concerned. It's called National Task Force, and will comprise of diverse section of doctors from different parts of the country to formulate the modalities for safety and security of doctors. Now, the Supreme Court is saying that security of doctors are absolutely sacrosanct. It cannot be compromised with, and interns, resident doctors, senior resident doctors who are made to work for 36 hours. At times often endure not even proper sanitization and basic well-being. So proper sanitization, proper well-being should be ensured to all these doctors who are actually serving for the interest of the health of common people. Now, even if there are hostels within the medical college and hospital, and if there are doctors who are there at the night shift, for their security, the work of the hospital authorities, the medical college authorities, to ensure the travel of the doctors who are working on night shift from their hostel to the medical institution, that should also be properly taken care of, so that they are not exposed to any potential vulnerability. Now, the Supreme Court absolutely recognized that there are situations where doctors are at risk of an unsafe environment, and in order to have a check on cases of sexual harassment, the National Task Force has to form modalities. as I said, installation of CCTV cameras, even workshops for all as how to handle grief and a critical situation should also be given. Now, provision for separate resting room for male doctors and female doctors should also be there. Now, that apart, okay, somebody's asking, what did the Supreme Court say about West Bengal government? Any action taken against West Bengal government or not? Well, to answer that question, yes, the Supreme Court had asked several questions to West Bengal government, but no action has been, imposed on the government. But there are two. The CBI has been asked to file a status report on Thursday. The the government, West Bengal government, also has to file a status report. Now, the CBI will have to file a status report on the case of rape and murder of the second year medical college, intern doctor. So, CBI is handling a status report on that, has to be filed by CBI by Thursday. That apart, there is a separate case of vandalism which happened inside the medical college premises on 15th of August, on the intervening night of 14th and 15th of August. And on that particular case, where the state has said that 50 cases or multiple cases, status report of that particular investigation, which is still with the Kolkata police, that too has to be filed before the Supreme Court. That apart, what has also come as a big breaking news, apart from the preview of, apart from the complaints which are already there in public domain, interestingly, some very serious complaint. What complaint, the nature of the complaint, we do not really know, because that has been given to the Supreme Court in a sealed envelope. Now, doctors who are part of RG and also staying, they have apparently also alleged that after the attack on the hospital building, on the emergency building of that very RG Medical College and Hospital building, there was a separate attack which also was allegedly perpetrated on the hostel of the doctors. The reason why, several doctors, about 700 doctors were there, out of which only about 40 or 50 female doctors and mostly about 60 doctors are still there. Rest have all fled. They have all left the the medical college and hospital premises, fearing for their. Now, the proposal that was made by the Solicitor General, Mr. Tushar Mehta, Solicitor General said that now this complaint has gone to police. Even if these are anonymous complaints, there are provisions to identify who could be the complainant. Now, because there is an environment of distrust, the Solicitor General proposed that they are willing to provide central security to RG, to which the Supreme Court has agreed. The Supreme Court has agreed, which means central security for CISF will be deployed at RG Medical College and Hospital. I repeat, the Supreme Court has accepted the proposal which has come from the Solicitor General, and CISF, which is Central Forces, will be deployed at RG Medical College and Hospital. The Supreme Court was extremely disappointed with the attack which happened inside RG Medical College and Hospital. That brings me to the question as what did Supreme Court say about West Bengal government? There had been very critical observations, principally revolving around this very incident. What is this incident? On the intervening night of 14th and 15th of August, there was an attack which happened on the very emergency building, third floor of which is the seminar hall, and inside the seminar hall is the happens to be the crime. So the Supreme Court is saying that how come the state police or the Kolkata police did not know? There was a call for a midnight protest. There was a call for a Reclaim Your Midnight protest given out by protesters. So which means the police were also aware that there would be a gathering, there would be assembling of people. If that is the case, whether police had taken adequate measures, and if police had taken adequate measures, how did this happen? From the side of the petitioners, from the side of the Solicitor General, it was said that police were simply not caught off guard. They had even taken refuge inside female hostel. That they have even taken refuge in the room which is meant for the female dressing room. So basically, they were simply not ill prepared, they were simply not caught off guard, they had miserably failed to handle the situation. To which Kapil Sibal, on behalf of the state government, had said that there were about 700 police people present. Let me just go through the number once. I don't want to be wrong. I have noted down everything. I think there was no. He said there were about there were about 700 police people present, but about 7,000 people had gathered, and that's how forces were outnumbered. To which the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, immediately pointed out there could be 7,000 people, but not all 7,000 people had entered and unleashed the terror. Could be about 90 or 80 or 100. So basically, on the action taken by the state of West Bengal and especially by Kolkata on this very vandalism, I beg your pardon, I don't know whether the number was 500 or 150. I heard and I have written it somewhere, I just can't figure out. So bottom line was the defense from the government had been that there were 7,000 people who had gathered. Okay, 150 police were present. All the viewers are saying, so I will correct myself. 150 policemen were present, but 7,000 people had gathered, and that's the reason that they were outnumbered. And the state government will now have to file the status report before the court. So the takeaways: number one, the Supreme Court has urged. I stand corrected, Ankit Tiwari. 700 doctors were there at the hostel. I stand corrected. 150. Kapil Sibal said that police people as forces were present. Takeaways now: the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance. The Supreme Court has questioned as whether police tried passing off the matter as suicide and inform the family as whether it was a suicide. To which the state has informed, no, it is a false claim. The police did not ever inform the family it was a matter of suicide. The Supreme Court has also questioned why there was a delay in filing of FIR. To which the state has said there was no delay. The FIR was filed, appropriate FIR, with the sections of rape and murder were filed by 11:45 the same night, which is 9th of August. The Supreme Court then questioned why 11:45, why not before? If the autopsy report had happened between 1 and 6, so in that case, why was there a delay? The Supreme Court also questioned what time was the body handed over to the bereaved family, to which Kapil Sibal responded that the body was handed over by 8:30. The Supreme Court immediately questioned if the body was handed over by 8:30, why was there delay by another 3 hours to register an FIR, appropriate FIR, to which the state of West Bengal has said the appropriate FIR also required a complaint. And the father, who is also an official complainant in this matter, had sought some time, stating that they were dealing with a lot of distress and they were also have to perform the last rites and cremation. So that time was allowed, not that there was any delay on part of the police. The Supreme Court also questioned why and how initially it was of UD, to which the state has responded that that is procedure. Initially, before the inquest and the autopsy report, it was an UD report to proceed with the investigation and for the postmortem to happen, to which the court did not say anything further. But the court has taken very strong objection to that the identity of the victim has come out. Identity of the victim is still there on social media. Pictures from the seminar room showing the victim lying on the mattress have also come out. Who are these people who have leaked it? How come they have come out? The postmortem report had come out. So all of that had actually shocked the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has asked the police to ensure that the identity of the victim is protected with absolute interest. Now, the court has been, assured that proper action would be taken. As far as the details of the case is concerned, there was not deliberation on that, because that has now been kept for a later date. So on Thursday, the matter would come up again. The Thursday, as the CBI files the status report, the matter would come up again. In the meantime, on behalf of the state, the post-mortem report, the case diary, and other documents and other relevant information pertaining to the case has already been handed over to the bench. The bench had gone through them. The bench had refrained making any observation because the matter is far from any closure. What has the bench directed so far? The bench of the Chief Justice of India has directed there cannot be any compromise with the security of doctors. It is of paramount importance, and if doctors are giving good health to the society, their security, their safety has to be maintained. It is paramount of paramount importance. We also know. All right, I'm just trying to connect with some of the lawyers, if that's possible. So basically, the Supreme Court has made it very clear as far as the details of the case are concerned, and even the investigation is also a lesson for all of us. It is also a lesson for all of us. It is also a lesson for media. I would say we have tried maintaining absolute restraint. We have not shown anything pertaining to the identity of the doctor, but the overzealousness on the part of couple of sections we won't name, going overboard at times can also mean breaching the line of protocol. So that has also happened, to which the Supreme Court has said that every information should come to the court in a sealed envelope so that there is no leaking of information. All right. Why it has been done by CBI till now? Akash Paul is asking. We do not really know because the matter is still with CBI, and we will have to wait. The status report has to be filed before the Supreme Court on Thursday. Supreme Court said the status report can also be filed by morning of Thursday. That's not a problem. The Supreme Court has also taken very strong observation about the conduct of the hospital. That is another very important aspect of this entire 2-hour-long hearing that happened. So basically, Supreme Court has taken very strong observation to the fact what was the role of the hospital authorities. Did they lodge any complaint? Why didn't they lodge any complaint? And in that context, the role of the principal also came. The Supreme Court also questioned as whether the principal was transferred to another hospital, to which it said that he was transferred before his resignation, but now he is on leave as per the instruction of the High Court. So the conduct of the hospital authorities had definitely come under the scanner of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has squarely questioned why didn't the hospital on its own, a doctor working at your hospital has died under such a circumstance. The reports are confirming it's rape and murder. The family is dealing with a lot of distress. The family is upset. The family is dealing with the situation. They have sought time to file a complaint. Why didn't the hospital authority lodge a complaint? So the role of the hospital authority has certainly been questioned, and definitely we have to wait and see as the matter comes before the Supreme Court again, which way it goes. The principal minded has already appeared before the CBI for 5 consecutive days. He has been arrested, and he was examined even yesterday. Somebody is asking, seriously, don't you think West Bengal police is losing credibility and CISF is now coming at RG Corps? Ankit Tiwari, it's a very pertinent question. It's a very pertinent question. And as a matter of fact, that Kapil Sibal had also, on behalf of the state government, tried interjecting by saying that if CISF would be there, then 2 forces cannot be there, like central force and state forces. Well, after that, the Supreme Court did not really make any observation, so we do not really know whether the state police would still be there or not. But obviously, we have seen if law and order is a state subject, and in a situation like this, as sensitive as this, which has actually garnered attention across the country, And if in a situation has happened where the state police or Kolkata police had failed to assess the situation, be so well prepared that an untoward situation like attack on the hospital premises could be thwarted, well, because it did not happen and now CISF is going, yes, questions would be asked and questions would be raised as far as the credibility and efficiency of Kolkata police is concerned. How they react to these questions, we have to wait and see. When will the actual case things would be discussed? When is the next hearing? Somebody is asking fast AF. Well, the matter would come back for hearing on Thursday. Now, Thursday, it would be a very brief hearing, and thereafter, the hearing can also happen once again on Tuesday. That's what we have heard. That's what we have heard from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court clearly said that the matter would now come up for hearing on Thursday, and on Thursday, the CBI status report will have to be filed. The status report will have to be given in a sealed envelope, and after that, in all likeness, the matter would also come back for hearing on Tuesday. Now, yes, the Solicitor General wanted some extra time. He said that it would also give us some extra time to file the report and things like that. But then the Supreme Court said you file the report on Thursday morning without fail, and thereafter it would be a very brief hearing on Thursday, depending on how things pan out. And thereafter, the Supreme Court would decide as when the matter would come up next and the next course of action. The paramount observation would be the Supreme Court, all the three judges, literally has requested, it is not an order, mind it, it is not an order. The Supreme Court has requested all the protesting doctors to resume work, highlighting that the medical system and the medical facility on which marginal society, poor people depend, they should not be kept bereft of medical treatment, and that it is a request that they resume their duty, and that suo motu cognizance has thus been taken by the Supreme Court, because there had been a lot of serious allegations, and it seemed like the Supreme Court has not really shown any leniency towards West Bengal, government of West Bengal, police or Kolkata police. In fact, has asked several tough questions, questions on the conduct of the police. And the Supreme Court has urged everyone to resume work, like the doctors. At the same time, the Supreme Court has urged every stakeholder, to ensure proper security is being given to the doctors. It is of paramount importance. And the National Task Force, which has now been formulated, has been given the task to find out modalities and inform the court as what best should be done for the safety and security of doctors. Doctors, their safety, doctors of any gender, their safety is of paramount importance. Fast AF is asking, is the discussion over for today? Yes, it is over for today. The matter would come back again for hearing on Thursday. Ankit Tiwari is asking, what do you think hospital authority failed in the responsible, some malpractice done, handling case, which given these questions, if let's say this case doesn't get highlighted, then what? Well, Ankit Tiwari, we will not get into any speculation. In fact, you can actually go back to our channel and see a report which we have tried filing this morning, separating facts from fiction. We are only dealing with faction. There should not be any scope for speculation, because the moment there is speculation, it can it can create a lot of confusion. We are not getting into speculation. Please understand the matter is with CBI. Please understand the Calcutta High Court has done its investigation for 3.5 days and then handed over the matter, the case diary, to CBI. Thereafter, the CBI has now been asked to file a status report. So you have to wait for the status report to see as which way the investigation is going and what kind of actions the CBI has taken. Well, the protest of the doctors, so that's the reason, Ankit Tiwari, my dear friend, we can't really speculate and we will not do it. If you're asking my personal opinion, I would reserve my personal opinion at this juncture, because personal opinion at times can also be reflection of your own perception and biases. I am also a human being, and that's the reason we are simply going by facts which are there out on the table. I hope you understand. Somebody has said, we want justice for our sister. Please understand, just not you. We all want justice for the doctor. The other thing, before we wind up, the other thing, the Supreme Court said, and those words have stayed with me, the state should not unleash its power on protesting doctors. I repeat, this has been told to the state of West Bengal. The state government should not unleash its power on protesting doctors, which means empathizing with the protest. The Supreme Court has clearly said that everyone has a right to express their voice. Every peaceful protest should be allowed. Yes, Supreme Court also very consciously used the word peaceful. So every peaceful protest should be allowed, and the state should not unleash its power. So basically, on one hand, the Supreme Court had put out some pointed question before the state government, questioning as whether the police had informed the family about suicide, and thereafter the allegations which are already there, to which the Supreme Court has been apprised by the state counsel and also by Kapil Sibal representing the state as what kind of action they have taken. So basically, it was the first day of the suit cognizance that the Supreme Court has taken of this matter, and the Supreme Court has clearly said, and things that the line that I would wind up this live broadcast with, the Supreme Court said that this incident, the brutality of it, has shaken the conscience of the country, and such incidents cannot be allowed to happen in the future, that we cannot wait for such another incident to happen. And that is the reason the Supreme Court has taken intervention, and the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance. Again, today's observations will have two ways of being viewed. Certain questions being asked before council can also be viewed that Supreme Court has been critical about the state government of Mamata Banerjee and the role of the police. The other view can be the Supreme Court has also taken cognizance of the sentiment of the doctors resonating from all across the country, and the kind of messages, complaints which have also come in the past, highlighting lack of safety and security of doctors, just not restricted to one RG Kar Medical College and hospital in Kolkata, or just not restricted to medical college and hospitals in Bengal, but with incidents happening from all across. The Supreme Court has clearly said that safety and security of doctors are of paramount importance, and that's the reason the union government has also been involved. The union government, the health secretary has also been involved, and that is the reason a model has to be derived at by taking directions and by taking suggestions from diverse range of doctors from all across the country. That's the reason the National Task Force has been formed. So that is another dimension. The third one is, while the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance of the matter, while the Supreme Court has definitely found the protest of the doctors legit, while the Supreme Court has said that everyone has the right to express the opinion, but the Supreme Court has also urged, requested the doctors that they should resume their duty, because there is a larger section dependent on their medical service. It is not an instruction, it is just a request. It is not a direction, it is just a request. Thus, it would be very interesting to see how would the protesting doctors now react to this, whether they would call off their protest or whether they would continue. That would continue. Again, we have to wait and see. The fourth highlighted point which I have picked up is about some very serious complaints that the Supreme Court has been apprised of. Mostly those complaints have come from anonymous complainants. Those complaints will have to be probed, and those complainants will have to be secured, and that is the reason CISF will be deployed at the RG Kar Medical College and Hospital. For now, we will be winding up. It has been 2 hours. For all our viewers and for all the people who have connected with us, your support means a lot to us, and the fact that you chose to watch the live broadcast on our channel, engage with us, has only helped us connect and has only helped us in our own metrics. For that, we are ever thankful to you. I would also request you all, there is a massive misinformation going on. While the demand for justice is paramount, while the justice has to be done, and everyone is on agreement that this is a brutal crime, I personally, here I have my opinion, such a heinous crime, and the criminal who has committed this crime has got no place in our society. the initial few days, we have also run a campaign, and the campaign is still on. Hang the rapist. We are of absolute strong opinion. We have absolute strong opinion uh, uh, um, that there is no place for criminals like this, and we have seen in the past as many such cases, people who are convicted of rape had come out in remission. There should not be such a law that allows rapists to come out, and that's the reason we have actually run a campaign, Hang the Rapist, and still on. We also believe there should not be any compromise with the safety and security of our doctors. They are of paramount importance, and doctors actually give us good health. Even if patient parties are dealing with a emotionally charged situation, under no circumstances should they raise their hands on the doctor. Doctors give us good life. Doctors actually help us live our life. So expressing anger on doctors, absolutely no. So here are the two cases where we actually have our opinion. Justice has to be done. Nothing should be hidden. If more than one people are involved, that should come out. Everyone involved should be punished. Anyone involved in abetting the crime should be punished. In all ways and means, anyone involved with this crime, this heinous crime, should be punished so that the right example is set. The matter should not get dragged for forever, and there should be a closure in this case, even though there can never be a closure for a bereaved family. So these are the things where we are on tandem on. Our disagreement principally is on the drive, which many viewers have also agreed that there is a massive drive of misinformation. Please understand, misinformation can also hamper the investigation. While we do not know, and we did not even comment on the post-mortem report, even though many people had asked us, what is the post-mortem report? Trust you me, I still do not have the post-mortem report. There is one post-mortem which has gone viral on social media. On my part, I have tried verifying that post-mortem report from the right sources, and it seemed to be genuine, and that's the reason in my report you have referred to it. But I personally do not have the post-mortem report. How did this post-mortem report come out? How did these pictures come out? We do not really know. But you also understand there had been an absolute effort to spread a kind of information, and that kind of information had also dominated the discourse on social media, which personally as a journalist I think can also hamper the investigation. What if somebody is actually trying to spread the misinformation to obfuscate the investigation? And we have seen it during the Sushant Singh Rajput. No one can deny the fact that it has actually happened. It's been over 4 years that Sushant Singh Rajput has died. It's been over 4 years that the matter was handed over to CBI, and there is still no closure. So that's the reason it is a humble appeal to one and all. Even RG doctors have appealed that please refrain from spreading any information which is not being verified. On social media, in the sea of social media, you would find many information. Before forwarding them, before reposting them, before sharing them on your own wall, please verify and then post. While many people would have the temptation to indulge speculations, as I requested from my experience, many a times misinformation can hamper investigation. We have done a show. The first part is already out. We will try and publish a second part today. We have tried separating facts from fiction. Please go through the story, give feedback without any prejudice, and let us know what more as kind of information do you want from us. Many viewers have also asked us we should go and speak to the family. We have tried doing it in the past, but the family had sought time, and that's the reason we have allowed them their space. I do not know that clan who will go and reach out to them and ask how are they feeling. We have allowed them their space. The least they need now is that space to deal with this irreparable loss. We would definitely try to connect with the family, but at a time which is convenient for them and communicate with their emotions and emotional state. I thank you all for connecting with us. Dada, 5 names are flowing in WhatsApp University who are alleging involved in this crime. Anit Sadhu is writing, Anit Sadhu, it is not true. These 5 names which are floating on the social media, please understand, these names have not been called by CBI for examination as yet. These names have been floating on social media. Please understand, if they are not involved in this crime, these names are also names of human beings who come from families. Their families also have a right to dignity, and that's the reason it is very, very important to wait for investigation to figure out as whether they are even accused or anyway complicit in the crime. So we have not taken those names. I would request everyone, do not take those names. Okay, so I wind up here now. As I said, please go back to our channel and watch the story which I have just published in the Fact versus Fiction, drawing analogies and comparisons between what you have seen during Sushant Singh Rajput's case and this case. And we will come back again with the second installment of it or with some other report by evening. For now, thank you so much. We will have a long day, and once again, thank you so much for connecting with us.